Back to the Casey Anthony murder trial. It is week 6. I want to bring in Joe DiBenedetto. Joe, there was a holdup on Saturday. Let's talk about that first, because we expected a long day on Saturday. Last week, Judge Belvin Perry said, get ready to work through the weekend, and then all of a sudden it was over. Explain to our viewers what happened.
It had to be a bombshell allegation. That was my gut from day one, simply because this is a judge that did everything to mainstream this trial, tried to keep it going. There were 12 witnesses lined up, and he called a halt. And we all know why now. It's because the defense filed a motion claiming that the defendant at that particular time was not competent to stand trial. It must have been a very detailed submission, a credible submission. The judge had had 3 experts review her to make sure that she was fit to proceed, and made his ruling that, yes, in fact, she was.
And then right out of the gate, Jose Baez put Yuri Melich on the stand, the lead detective. He came out swinging, first thing out of his mouth, saying, "You misspoke on Friday, didn't you, Detective?" Detective Yuri Melich had to say yes. Take a listen.
You're suggesting that I intentionally misinformed the jury, and I did not. It was simply that you're asking me questions based on a 3-year investigation, a lot of cell phone records. I don't know what you're going to ask me. So in respect to Friday's testimony, yes, I did misspeak. And yes, I did give the wrong date range for the time I subpoenaed Roy Crunk's cell phone.
Oh, yeah, Roy Crunk. We've been hearing a lot about him, and we keep waiting, thinking, is he next? Could he be the next witness? Because the defense is alleging that Roy Crunk benefited financially from this and moved little Kaylee's body. So, Joe, I think Roy Crunk is really going to be the focus of the defense here.
He clearly is. They're taking shots at him through other witnesses. The one thing that this lead detective, what Jose Baez allowed him to do, which, in my opinion, was not a good move, he allows him to testify in narrative form. Me, I would control the witness a little differently. I would ask him yes or no questions that require a yes or no answer, and if he decides to deviate, I'd cut him off and have the judge instruct the witness to simply answer the question that's being asked. The witness was trying to rehabilitate himself. He did say that he did misspeak, but unfortunately for the defense, he rehabilitated himself in terms of what he said after that. So you need to have a real tight rein on these witnesses.
Joe, a lot of people on my Facebook page, well, actually all of them have opinions of what will happen in this case if they believe that Casey is innocent, guilty as charged, you name it, it's on my Facebook page. And even the cover of People magazine says this, the Casey Anthony trial, getting away with murder. That is the cover. Do you think that the defense has a shot here that she could get away with murder if you believe the state that she did in fact murder her little girl Kaylee?
It's a great question. The one part of this case that's very, very troublesome for the defense, and they haven't been able to do much to really rebut it, is there's a 30-day window where no 911 call is made, nothing is done, and Casey Anthony's actions are you know, quite normal, and it's at a time where her daughter is missing. That is very, very damaging evidence, because it's not so much what Casey Anthony's doing, it's what she's not doing. So that, to me, unless Jose Baez comes up with some real bombshell witnesses real soon, is going to be the downfall in this case.
I think you're right, Joe. And as you're speaking, we're looking at adorable little pictures of little Kaylee Anthony. And I reviewed some of my notes last night looking at pictures in that span, in the 31-day span. Not only is she acting normal, she's going out to clubs, entering hot body contests. And people deal with grief differently, but no matter how you slice or dice it, if your little girl that we're looking at right here disappears and you don't know where she is, you don't act that way. You just don't do that. So I think that is a huge problem for the defense. How are they going to dig themselves out of that hole if they can?
It's a good question. I mean, he came out in his opening argument, he came out swinging, he made certain allegations, and now it's time for him, it's the defense's case, Jose Baez, it's now time for him to put up or shut up. Do you have evidence to substantiate these allegations that she accidentally drowned, that Kaylee accidentally drowned, that the father assisted in the cover-up? you know, we heard testimony from her mom, who tended to lend credibility to that argument. But do we have something more? That's what we're waiting for.
Right.
He made a very, very bold statement at first, and hopefully this case will not implode.
Yeah, the prosecution saying to George Anthony, have you ever molested your daughter? And he said, no, sir, I haven't. So the prosecution has asked it. We're waiting for the defense, Jose Baez and his team, to follow up with that. Joe DiBenedetto, thanks so much. You bring us great insight into this case, a lot to sort through.